Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another Daily Drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones. The topic again today, as promised, Carolina basketball. We're doing just Carolina basketball drops this week as the Tar Heels basketball season launches formally Monday night at home against Elon, 9 p.m. tip. Most people are not a fan of a 9 p.m. game against Elon on November 4th, but it is what it is, and I still think there should be a pretty good crowd there. I'll be there. THL will be there. We will crank out a crap load of coverage because that is what we do. We are at every game. We will have somebody in Hawaii covering that for us as well. I'm not going to Hawaii because I've already locked in football trips. Got to go BC and NC State at home, so I'll stay back and do that. But I'm going everywhere else. Everywhere else they go in basketball, I will be there. I'll be in Fog Allen Fieldhouse in a week and a half. A little less than a week and a half now for the unbelievably exciting clash, Carolina, Kansas, in that building. I hope Roy's there. Anyway, you should wear a Carolina sticker if he does go there. And I'm not going there, man. That's another Brett Friedlander topic. Anyway, the topic today is versatility. This is a very versatile team. And I think the versatility of this team is going to help it deal with a lot of situations. Now, it's not super big, but can the bigs play big? They got a 6'10 center with a 7'4 wingspan. I'd say he's pretty big. Given his skill, given his smarts, there aren't a lot of teams in the country have a guy like that. There aren't a lot of teams in the country that come off the bench with a 6'9", 24-year-old who's strong like Jalen Withers, who could crash the boards and defend like Jalen Withers, who is just very active. I would say could finish. Jalen needs to do a little better job finishing, but he gets points around the bucket. Go back to the Duke game in Durham last year. He had a couple tip-ins there. He trails so well in transition. This team's going to transition a ton. So they got bigs that can run. Van Allen Lubin, bigs that can run. And then, of course, they got so much quickness and speed on the perimeter, especially when you start Cadeau, RJ, and Seth in a three-guard lineup. And I think that I really thought it was neat that Hubert did that. I thought it was smart. I thought it was a great idea, and I think it's something that's going to work well for this team. A month ago, I thought Seth Trimble was coming off the bench. Now I think he is a starter and probably stay that way because immediately out of the gate, Carolina is going to enforce its attack-minded will on other teams. RJ can attack. Elliott can attack. Elliott's stronger, can attack better, so much better. Seth obviously can attack. He can get the rim, he can do the pull-up. RJ can get the rim, he can do a pull-up. Elliott's developing a little bit of pull-up. Elliott can hit a three now. He's got a nice rotation on that shot. So much better than it was. I don't have any idea what his percentage is going to be this year, but it looks better for sure. And I've seen him hit a few. Then you got Tyson. Tyson can use the baseline and get into the lane. I saw him do it a lot at Belmont, but he's over there with the three. He had that early three the other day, a catch and shoot three. You got that aspect out there. And then you got Jay Wash. You could step in, step out. He can roll. He could follow. He can do a lot of things. I love starting games with that kind of approach because sometimes they didn't get off the great starts last year. If you get off to a bad start and you're down 8-4 at the under 16 timeout, you've got to shave off what you lost the rest of the game. The game is shrunk down to 36 minutes or less, and you're down by 4. So you got to shave that off. If you get out to a good start and you sort of punch a team in the nose a little bit, you get them back on their heels, no pun intended, and then you roll in with Lubin, with Withers. Oh, and then you roll in with these two extremely talented freshmen, in Jackson and in Powell. Who else has that? And when Ty Claude is available, you have a guy who is he graded out very well on offensive rebounding, one of the highest percentage offensive rebounders in the country last year. He might be your 10th man. And when Georgia Tech beat Carolina last year in McCamish Pavilion down in Atlanta, he stepped in when Nago got hurt, and he went 9-8. And he had, 3 or 4 blocked shots. He blocked a couple late shots against Tar Heels. Georgia Tech got the win. Carolina was unbeaten in the ACC going to that game. Georgia Tech ended it. And Ty Claude was a huge reason why Georgia Tech won that game. He could be your 10th man. But what he does, he's a stabilizer. There's another defensive body up front that could be in there, a guy who could give you some trash buckets around the basket. Then you start talking about mixing and matching these guys. If you really want to go fast, think about the fact that we saw Drake Powell against Johnson C. Smith spend a couple minutes at the 4. And I talked to Drake about playing the 4. He smiled like, yeah, he can play the 4, but I think he can. What Hubert will ask for him. Can you imagine? I think when he was at the 4, Withers was at the 5. Who has that speed? Withers at the 5, Powell at the 4. Let's say Trimble at the 3, RJ at the 2, and Elliott at the 1. Who is that fast? Who could deal with all that bounce? Who can deal with all that slash? Then let's say Hubert wants to go big. You got J-Wash. Let's say you put Withers. He's strong. Put Withers at the 4. Played the 4 all the time at Louisville. Shot 41% 2 years ago from 3. Attempted 96 threes. Shot 41% playing the 4. He rebounded at the 4. He can defend the 4 for sure. And then you got Tyson at the 3. So suddenly they're not so small. You're 6'10" with a 7'4" wingspan. You're 6'9", very active and strong. Hair on fire-ish like Jay Witt can be. And you got 6'7", who plays a little bit longer at times, in Tyson, who's a pretty good rebounder. Could be a pretty good weak side rebounder. And then whatever you got in the backcourt. Whatever that combination of Seth, RJ, and Elliott. If you want to be big, you can go Elliott and Seth while RJ's getting a break. It's not a small team. And you can put a lineup out there that is better suited for I call it a long half-court trap. The longer guys. The 93 team was perfect at it. When you saw Henrik Rodel, and I'm dating myself here, and Pat Sullivan will appreciate this if he heard it, or I could tell him. When you saw Henrik Rodel and Pat Sullivan on the floor, Tar Heels were going to trap. You had 2 6'8" guys. Rodel was long, wiry. Sullivan was strong. Both of them were quick. They got to it. And they how many times they screwed teams up with the traps there. This team has a little bit of length that can play out there for some long traps. Like I was just saying, they could fast trap you. They could speed trap you. Remember when Seth Trimble was in the game last year against Florida State? You had Cadeau and RJ and Trimble out there in the stretch, and they made that comeback against FSU at home. That was this, I call it speed trap group. They can do that in the half court. They can do that in the full court if they need to pick it up. No matter what combination they put on the floor, they should have 5 players that should meet Hubert's demand and standard of being the fastest team in the country, getting the ball up in 3 seconds or less. There is no combination of players where you put them out there and say, man, that group plods too much. They're going to have to go a little bit more half court. They're going to have to set a lot of good screens to get guys open and get shots. No. They can do it with different types of shots. That's the versatility, but they all can play fast. So imagine having all that versatility of the kinds of guys you have in a fast group, a bouncy, quick group, an attack-minded group, and one that can also has enough guys that can hit threes. That's fascinating. That's intriguing. And that's scary because I think, and I was talking to a few other people in the media Sunday, I think this team's going to have some games where they just annihilate really good teams. They're going to blow some really good teams out. Similar to like what Carolina did last year against Syracuse at home. Stuff like that. I think they're going to have some games like that occasionally. Now, they're going to have some games they don't shoot very well from the perimeter. They get out rebounded, and it's going to be a tussle. But there are going to be times where this group can weave in all these different looks and just be breathtaking. And Hubert knows it. He knows he's got a potentially very good team on his hands and an electrifying team and a team that's so difficult for others to match up for. And the versatility is a huge, huge, huge part of that because they could do so much with so many different guys and do it in a way that accentuates each of their strengths. I know that's very positive stuff I'm telling you. And I know that I'm saying this should be a damn good basketball team, and I think it should be. Got to see this season play out. Been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. Don't think I'm wrong about this. I think this club has a chance to be very, very good, very fun, and the versatility will be one of its greatest attributes. If you're excited about this team's versatility, you're excited about their speed, about their depth, about how they can attack and score from all points of the floor, go ahead and click like on this video. If you've not subscribed to our channel, please do. Hit the notification bell so you get updates every time we upload. And make sure you tell your Carolina friends we're here. We need more people. We need all the Carolina fans coming here so then you guys can comment on stuff we talk about so we know what you think. You can do it on our site. You can do it on Twitter. You can do it on Facebook, wherever you want. Always want to know what you guys think. I'm AJ, and I'll see you tomorrow.